So tell me one thing, how many of you want to know about where to meet here only? There is. How many of you would like to know about structures? Because somebody, Navneeta, I think, mentioned, can we incorporate this in one of the Monday classes, Monday calls, as to what are structures? Anybody knows anything about structures? Like, that's a thing that we're talking about in Access right now, structures. Anybody? Any idea?
Not really, Kavita.
So, okay, structures are basically what this reality is functioning from. Like, we've learned this is how it has to be done. Okay? Everything has to be in its place, and that's how it works. This is supposed to be done. Okay? And supposed to be, all the supposed to be, or the right way of doing something, or this is how it is done, are structures in place that we allow ourselves to function from, because if we deviate, then we're doing something really wrong. You're supposed to get married. You're supposed to produce children. You're aging. Your biological clock is ticking. You're supposed to. So all the structures you're using to have in your life, and that's what you call your life, and that's what keeps you stuck. Will you please destroy and uncreate it now? Right, wrong, good, bad, powerful, client, short, burst, it's like, it's there. You call that your life? You want to set yourself free, but the whole thing is you're so stuck in the rightness and the wrongness of doing things how it's supposed to be done, because that's how everyone else does it. What vis-a-vis, I mean, it's still okay to have a system, okay? What is system? System is about what's going to work, not about what we've always done. Right? System is like, okay, this is going to work, let's do it this way. There could be an easier way also, right? Systems can be changed. Structures are solid. So everything, yeah. The system will get everything going in. We need to mute people when you join in. Thank you. So system is fluid, system is changeable, system is malleable. Systems can be changed at a drop of a hat if it's not working. With structures, have you seen any structure which has been put in place? Can you change those structures? You have to break them down, right? It's like, breaking them from the foundation. Structure is about how you get it right in this reality. It's the right and wrong of everything. Systems are about questions, choice, possibility, contribution. Right? When I put structures of morality, how many of you are stuck with the structures of morality? Very difficult to get out of it. Very difficult. You can't unmute and camera is not getting on. That's okay. Camera is fine, but you can't. I haven't, because I don't have that in place. So it's from your end. So you can log out and log in maybe, because I have muted you. So yeah. So how many structures have you put in place to avoid the choices you could be choosing? I mean, we have structures of family also, structures of being a good girl, structures of doing things correctly, right? So what is it that you're holding on to and calling it your life as a way of structure? So all the structures you're using to make your life difficult, will you destroy and uncreate it now? And there we go. And can you let that go now? Right? So would you like to talk about structures of morality now? Anyone? You don't have questions today? How is that? We meet not to hear the person. You meet to ask questions. And to wherever you're stuck, we can talk about that. What is it? Hi. You got your video. So, anyone has a question? How many of you think receiving is immoral? Because if you're going to receive too much, it's going to be bad. and then you won't be able to repay or give back. And so it's going to be bad. Yes, Lakshmi,
I feel I'm stuck up in my weight.
you're stuck in your weight. Is that even true? And what do you love about holding on to your weight? What are you waiting for? What do you love waiting for? Are you waiting for something to happen in your life? Are you unhappy somewhere that you're holding on to this weight as a way of dissipating that sadness? That, okay, I need to have this much to be seen by people. People are not seeing me. What is it? What's going on with your weight? I'd come to a conclusion that my weight is unshakable till I kind of shed 12 kilos. Not very, I mean, just recently. For almost 1.5 years, I carried that weight along, which wasn't mine. Are you carrying other people's weight on you? Do you give,
Yes.
do you give
Mhm.
preference to other people, but yourself? Is that the weight? You're waiting for you to take care of you? Is that the weight? What are you waiting for?
Other people's weight.
Exactly. So, and I mean, Hindi में अगर बोले तो कोई तुम पे हावी हो रहा है. And then you're expanding. So everywhere you've given them the importance, and out of morality or structure of morality that you have given them so much importance, and you have to be nice to them. And it's a very autopilot mode that you're running on, that you have to be nice to them. Because if you're not nice, you are anyway still going to judge yourself that, oh my God, I'm such a bad girl or a mean person. How could I be this and how could I do this? Everything that is, can you let that go, please?
Yes.
Yeah. So, how many feel that money and receiving is, and,
It's for my son.
about, wait, just a second. Yes, Lakshmi, say what you have to say. What would you want to say? So, are you really stuck, or are you keeping yourself there so that you don't change? And because if you change, then your family would not be able to take it. If you change as a person. Are you there? Lakshmi?
I'm there, yes.
So tell me that are you doing this because you want to keep the apple cart the way it is? You don't want to change the apple cart because otherwise it'll get too messy to handle or chaotic. Because if you change and people around you can't see you changing, so it's okay. I mean, I've been living with it. This is my life, and that's how it has to be. And those are the structures that you're living by. So all your structures of family that you've created for yourself, that you feel stuck in. So, truth, what are you stuck in?
Yeah, yes, it's a structure, yes.
It is a structure. And is that a structure of morality? Do you think that you're going to be an immoral person if you're going to receive too much?
That guilt feeling is given, yes.
So, because you're too privileged, you're getting too much too easily. So, you need to feel bad about it. And that feeling bad expands your body weight. Everything that is, how much of feeling bad is creating your body? Are you creating your body from? Can you let that go now? At whatever number.
Yes.
And cure it. Because if you know that, the minute you acknowledge it, things start shifting from there. That, okay, this is something I'm choosing right now. Okay, I cannot change right now. It's not light for me, but I know I can change it. Rather than saying, oh, I'm carrying an unchangeable weight. So what systems do you need to put in place so that you can have ease with change? Not structures, but systems. Systems is, are you willing to be wrong? Are you willing to be judged?
I judge very strongly, yeah.
You judge yourself or others judge you?
Others too, and yeah,
So
kind of like.
you're judging other people, or are you aware of their judgment that
I'm aware of their judgments.
So I'm aware of their judgments of you or themselves.
I'm aware of their judgment of me.
Correct. And of themselves, because we judge others for who we are. Do you get that? And then you make it your judgment. And you magnify it because everyone's judging.
Correct, correct.
What do you love about that? And all the judgments which have become like demons in your world. So can you let them go now? Can you do
Yes.
you're carrying your personal demons wherever you go. And so much space that these demons have taken in your body. It's like, कुछ store करना होता है तो pen drive लगाते हम, right? So you're saving that as if your body is a storage vessel. Can you stop doing that now?
Yes.
So anything that you do for fun is considered immoral, okay? And it goes against the structure of morality. And guess what? When you do too much fun, the body weight also will melt away because it's saying, I don't need to be here. You're fun. I mean, go enjoy. Right?
Right.
And because you have chosen the alignment and agreement in a certain area. And that becomes your structure of morality. That this is, I'm going to be a good girl. Now you've aligned and agreed. Or you've resisted and reacted to it, and you said, okay, I want to be a bad girl, but nobody wants to be a bad girl. So you're like, if there's an conflict going on between the good and the bad. While you personally may not have a point of view about it, but you've been given that point of view. We function from it as if it's the truth of us, but it is not. So Navneeta, you had mentioned, we're talking about structures today.
Wonderful. I saw that. I was like, okay, perfect time.
Yeah. So what is your question regarding structures? Because I spoke in the beginning and we went on to structures of morality, but structures are something that are set in concrete, that this is how it's supposed to be. This is the right way of doing it. Those are structures. Systems are something which are easygoing and flexible, and you can change it, and you can be wrong and have no point of view about it. Those are systems. So we're talking about structures that we have placed with family, with morality, with everything that keeps us stuck. So as a good girl, you're supposed to be doing this. And because you're too good, there's no guy who likes you anyway, because there are maybe good guys like bad girls and and girls like bad boys or whatever that is. Yeah, those are the kind of structures people are living from now. And how many of you, and then we had Lakshmi asking about her unchangeable weight. She's like, my weight is unshakable. So are you unshakable in certain areas? Are you too stubborn? Do you hold on to your ground too strongly? And because you need that weight as a way of standing your ground, is that how it is? Just asking a question. You're unshakable. Is that wrong? Do you like the fat around you? Do people judge you for that, or they say you're so cute? What is it? What are you resisting to have in your body? So all of you all who have the fat issues, is that an issue? Or is that a structure that you're living from, that you need to be only like slim figure and only that's going to be a good thing? You're going to be good looking? What judgments do you have of the fat that you carry with yourself, so dear to you? And trust me, are you comfortable with that? What if it's not something which is bothering you, but it's bothering how people would look at you? But if you had no people around, would you be comfortable with that weight around in your body? So how much of the big five and structures of morality are you using so you will never function as the infinite being that you truly be? Will you give that up now? So how many of you want to save the world, yet be in a structured reality? So actually, who are you suffocating? Who is getting suffocated? So when you're stuck in a structure, you cannot choose beyond that structure because you feel that this has to be. And if I go anything outside the boundaries or limits of this, something really terrible will happen. What is that terrible thing? You might just be happy, but you wouldn't let yourself be. So all the structures of morality that keep you from seeing the beauty, the magic and possibility in all things, including you, will you please let that go too? So all the moral structures that you have about receiving, sex, money, food, gifting, kindness, joy, and possibility, will you destroy and uncreate those? And do the clearing statement in your head. That's what. My only thing is, what do you love about your structures that you wouldn't give them up? Because you don't want to be wrong? Because the rightness is so real? And because you will be rejected and you'll be outcasted? Or have you always been an outcast and you haven't really given yourself enough credit for that? What is it? What's going on in your world with the structures that you have imposed on yourself? Or you bought it because that's something that everyone's working with, so you should be working with that too. What do you get with the structures? Is it immoral to take advantage of other people? And you'll have too much ease in your area, so you need to feel bad about it, so that structure will keep you locked up and stop you from doing things. But on the other hand, you're going to be taken advantage of because you want to be the nice person. What's the value of being a nice person in this case?
It's the pain of the known versus the pain of the unknown.
And everywhere you've decided that the unknown is going to be painful only. And how many presumptive realities are there? What if the unknown could be more pleasure that you haven't ever imagined or haven't ever experienced? So all that resistance to change that you have, that keeps you stuck in your structural reality, will you let that go? Because if there is too much change, you would feel very immoral to be in this reality. And everywhere you're holding on to those structures to keep yourself limited and small, very small, in every area of your life, will you please let that go now? So when you were functioning from structures, you have almost or no choice. Because tell me, if you घर बनाते हैं तो स्ट्रक्चर पे पिलर खड़ा होता है, राइट? पिलर्स को आप चेंज नहीं कर सकते हो क्योंकि वो सेट है, वो कंक्रीट में है. You can't really go, you have to go around it maybe, but you cannot break them. Systems can be changed. Systems are fluid. Systems are movable. You can create a new system. If A is not working, B is fine. So that's about the system and structure. So what do you love about your structures? And how much have you judged other people who've gone out of those boundaries and did things that you have judged and because your family was judging them? No questions. Can you ask questions, please? So have you decided that there's a structure in place that you cannot go beyond and create, institute, or generate something greater than that?
The
Structures.
structure of the family is sometimes the hardest to break, Kavita.
Sorry?
The structure of the family and the role you play in a family structure is sometimes the hardest to break.
What if you don't have to break? What if who is asking you to break? The whole thing is that everywhere you've aligned and agreed with the whole thing, like Joy is writing here, structure brings comfort and reassurance because then I don't have to feel lost. So everywhere you're holding on to the structure so you don't feel lost. What if you actually allow yourself to be found? Where have you decided, like you said, unknown can be, the unknown is definitely pain. When you got into Access, did you know what you're going to get? It was
No.
unknown for you, but then it became pleasure, right? In the beginning, it wasn't that. You did not know what you were going to get into. It's a practical way of living. You have it today, you can drop it tomorrow, you can again pick it up and again drop it tomorrow. It's a choice you have, and that's what Access has been saying. In the last 10 years that I've been with Access, I've been, okay, I'll do it. Only one last time. I'm doing this class and then I'm not doing anything. And then I go to next in 4 months' time. Because it's like, I like it. I know there is change. I know there's something moving. So truth, is there anything unknown? Or is there there's a lot of stuff going on that you don't want to know? So is that unknown or you don't want to know? What is it? That. And you don't want to know is a choice, and that's absolutely okay. The day you choose to know, that will no longer be unknown, and that could contribute a lot of joy and pleasure in your life. Are you willing to have that? Is the question. Or are you going to be feeling more immoral if you're going to have too much fun? And what have you defined too much is? That. What if you did not have to lock that up and lock yourself up in a structure? Family, great. I mean, have it. Nobody's saying that you should not have a family. But you have a choice. Can it come from a choice that, yes, I am fine with these structures rather than fighting these structures? Because if you're going to fight the structures are not going to break. You're going to break your head against the structure. And that's what is hurting, because you're breaking yourself down, because structures cannot be broken.
But then the structures don't work. That is the basic premise, right? Because it is so linear and it is so.
Structures are fantastic for humans because they know ऐसा ही है और ऐसे ही जीना है. उसमें कुछ गलत नहीं है, right? वो structure बना के चला है और उसके साथ वो जी सकते हैं all the entire life and go also. And they'll come back and they'll relive the same structure and they have no problem with that. Problem is with humanoids, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. So as a humanoid, it's very difficult to function within that structure.
But that's
But then
exactly
if you
could you now change yourself and allow yourself to have systems instead and let them function with structures, and you kind of allow yourself to function from systems, not structures. Like
how
Suraj is
does one do that? Can you
allowance,
explain with an example?
allowance and choices. See, my point is family is going to live by the way they would like to live. You start making your choices, not making them wrong, but from a space of gratitude and allowance, and then start choosing for yourself. They will make you wrong. Structures will make you wrong. You don't make you wrong. That is what you need to do. Yeah, maybe Suraj is saying by creating your own structure. Not really. Because humanoids love systems. You would not enjoy the structural reality that you would create for yourself. So from one system to the other, to the other, to the other. What if you could allow yourself to be in a flow? You don't need. So it's like you're talking about being from one, sitting in one box and then coming out and having a bigger box. So all your boxed realities that you've been living with, that okay, you know what, we come to Access करने आते हैं और फिर एक और स्ट्रक्चर में बैठ जाते हैं, एक और जजमेंट में ले आते हैं. तो बस पहले छोटा बॉक्स होता है, फिर बड़ा बॉक्स होता है. The very fact that if you end up judging a facilitator also that ये best है, okay, then you've created yet another structure of yes, right, wrong. Only this facilitator can give you what nobody else. Really? Are you kidding? Or are you making facilitator the source, or are you the source? You're not willing to have yourself as a source. If you were committed to your own self, not to anybody, to yourself, to you being happy, to you being creating ease, joy, glory in your life, you have to commit to yourself. It's got nothing to do with the facilitator. There is a system, Vandana, not a structure in solar system. That's why it's called solar system. Otherwise, solar structure hota. There is a system.
It's like a grid, and all the planets in that
No,
grid.
it is not a grid. So it is elliptical. It is a system that is going on. In the environment also, there is a proper system that is going on. There is no structure in place.
I'm not even yet able to differentiate between what is the difference between system and structure. To me, they seem the same. Even though you explained it, I haven't grasped it.
So, that's how we've learned how to realize and live with this reality where structures become, that's how we function. It's a way that people say, aise hi karna hai. This is how it is done. This is how we're supposed to be. You're a woman, you're supposed to be not laughing with your teeth out. You're not supposed to sit with your legs wide open. You're supposed to be. You get it? There are you're supposed to get married by 21 and produce a baby by 22. Supposed to.
So these are the structures that have been put in place, societal things, societal,
Yeah, even structures of morality, right? Those are structures.
yeah,
System is about what's going to work and not about how it is always done. हमारे तो रीत में ऐसे ही होता है. Do you get it? Now that is a structure versus, okay, how can I make it have ease with this and create a different way of functioning?
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So systems can change. And we can change it in a heartbeat,
पता नहीं बाहर तो
right?
Structures can change, but systems are,
No. Systems can change. Structures are not the word. Go with the energy.
Hmm,
Structure itself. आपने घर का structure खड़ा कर दिया तो वो तो तोड़ के ही change होगा ना.
correct.
That's a big fight. That's the conflict that we have कि अगर इतना बड़ा structure है तो उसको तोड़ेंगे कैसे? तो उसी को ठीक कर करके चलते रहते हैं.
Hmm,
Demolish नहीं कर पाते हैं unless there is an earthquake. Do you get it?
right.
So, and especially when, how many earthquakes are you going to have or go through to break those structures that you've been living by so that you can put those systems in place?
Okay, understood. Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Hmm.
The systems are nothing but they're movable, they're fluid, we can move things. It's not rigid. Structure, by the word of it, it's a rigid kind of a thing.
Hmm.
And yeah, Suraj says that after access we get more access to everything. Yeah, because वो जो structure से हम चल रहे थे पहले वो melt हो गए हैं या होते जाते हैं melt. तो हम अब जो है वो changes बहुत असली I mean अपने ऊपर apply कर पाते हैं. And now it gets easier rather. You are lighter on yourself. You are not troubling yourself. You're like, hey, you know what? I would prefer ease, joy, glory in everything I do. That is what we're talking about. So how many structures do you have around family? And how many structures do you have? And all the structures that you've made yourself bad and wrong, and that you call your life is only wrong, your birth is only wrong, and you shouldn't be here. Everything that is, let that go now. And if you're not happy with the way your life is, then what is it that you need to change that you're holding on to so strongly that even in the face of total awareness, you wouldn't allow yourself to change that? So what is it?
I think the ability to receive would change a lot of things, no? It would also break a lot of structures if you're just able to receive.
That exactly. And where are you not letting yourself receive? What is it? What do you love not to receive?
Judgment.
Bad. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to you want to do the wrong thing, but not be judged. The only thing is because you've defined it's a wrong thing, the first judgment is coming from you. कोई तो और जज नहीं करेगा ना. तुमने जज कर लिया तो फिर वो तो जजमेंट बाहर से मिलेगा ही मिलेगा ना. So everything that doesn't allow your life to be a dance of change, will you destroy and uncreate all of that? And every day you define that change has got to be difficult and it has to be painful. Change is the most terrible thing. Can you please leave that now? Everywhere you're making it hard and not ease, joy, glory. That becomes your reality. Will you let that go now? And so, how many of you have been finding the right structure? And because if it's not the right structure, then it's not a structure to play with. So, how many right structures are holding you back and you're not being able to go beyond that? And who is going to give you a medal if you're going to be so structured in your life? Is there anyone who's going to acknowledge you? You hate yourself with those structures. You know that. You don't like yourself. So who are you seeking that appreciation from or validation from जो कभी validate करने ही नहीं वाले हैं तुमको? So are you trying to prove that how right you are? How moral you are? The very fact जब हम अपने आप को prove करने की कोशिश करते हैं, मतलब हमने पहले से तय कर लिया कि हम सही तो नहीं है, इसलिए तो prove कर रहे हैं कि हम सही हैं. वरना prove करने की जरूरत है कुछ भी. Now, when you have to, how much avoiding, defending, and proving are you doing with the structures you're holding on to? सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई? कुछ तो बात करो.
Also, there is this, and every modality says that change is slow.
Really? Interesting point of view to that.
Yeah, exactly.
एक तो
So if
heartbeat
you're
भी हो
breaking
सकता
a
है.
structure,
The very fact जिस दिन तुमने तय किया कि मुझे ये करना है, उस दिन से वो change शुरू होना चालू हो जाता है. So what are we talking about? The day you think I need to get my hair, chopped, that day the change shows up. It can be in a heartbeat. Wherever you decided it's going to take ages or it has to take a long time for things to change.
yeah, that. So sometimes it's easier to stay in the structure than break it and then deal with the energy of the broken structure and the fact that the change you're wanting is going to come a couple of months down the line.
It would, but also, could you work around the structure? Sometimes structures need not be broken. You let people who are following it be there. And can you work? So if I'm holding this is a structure. Can I work around it? Can I work around it? I necessarily don't have to break it. That. So how much are you defending and explaining and avoiding having money in your life with the structures that you have installed so beautifully? Are you trying to be nice? Being nice, yeah, that's what. Being nice is being a people pleaser, basic. So everything that is, you let that go now. Having too much money is also immoral because people will judge you for being so privileged. Then you have to feel bad about that as well.
Actually, that was the space I was coming from. So I think I just scrunched up my financial reality by saying that people who have too much
Hey,
money.
Much money are evil and mean, and so you don't want to be that. So you want to be nice.
Yeah.
So what if you could allow yourself to have too much money and just simply say, hey, you know what? I created it. Rather than proving to the world that no, yeah, you don't care about the money. While you do. So how much are you defending magic and how much are you defending money with that? So what structures of this reality are you using to avoid the fun, ease, joy, glory, everything that you could be creating? So how many structures are you using to cut off your awareness? Because बहुत पता चल गया तो भी तो प्रॉब्लम है. अलाउंस तो है नहीं हमारी. So पता ही ना हो तो बहुत अच्छा है. बहुत पता चल गया तो भी दिक्कत हो सकती है.
True.
And privilege हो तो इसलिए छुपना जरूरी है because they will make you feel bad about you having too much.
Yeah.
So how much are you hiding despite having everything? and making it wrong in your world.
So there was this very interesting example that I was reading about these two friends who were walking down, and they, of course, they're in private equity or whatever, some fancy office, and they stop at a corner to pick up a newspaper, and the
And that
newspaper
guy,
guy,
and that guy he says, "तुम लोग इतना अमीर हो हमारे, you
with
know."
your $500 suits, and it must be so hard for you to sit in your office and work while we are trying to slave away and trying to make money, and all the points of views and the structures that are created, which doesn't allow this guy to break out of what he
That's the gift
has
of
put
allowance.
himself
किताब में
into.
उसका example दिया है. But the
Yeah.
friend is saying कि तुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ा, उसने इतना rudely बात किया.
Yeah.
नहीं, मेरे लिए convenient है, रास्ते में आता है, इसलिए मैं उसको
Yeah.
वहीं से मैं न्यूज़पेपर ले लेता हूँ, तो मेरे लिए convenient है. I am not
Yeah.
interested in his judgment because he can judge all his life because he's complaining, he's cribbing, he's doing everything. But fact of the matter is, क्या वो complaining से आप create कर रहे हो? And what
Yeah.
is more that you can create, because and there's nothing wrong in being blessed or being privileged.
Yeah.
So
But
I
it's so easy to make that into a structure as well, that, oh,
it is. I what I recall right now is when I was in India when I was a kid. I was told no, I was born in the US. So while I was growing up, people were like, your life is sorted, you'll go to US. Your life is sorted, you'll go. All those people who kept saying that, they are in US and I'm in India. I was like, मेरा sorted कहाँ चला गया? You're lucky you were born in the US, and now also, oh, you can be a citizen, I think. And then what we found out was my father was a diplomat, and diplomat के बच्चों को नहीं मिलता है citizenship. तो कर लो, बाबा जी कर दो. And I'm like, but मुझे जाना भी नहीं था. I just want to go, move,
Visit
travel
and come
and yeah, enjoy. I don't want to stay there.
Yeah.
Now, how do I swing it in my favor? I tell people, you know what? Even before I was born, I knew I'm going to get my parents out of there. And I came to India. I could say I'm a futurist, you see. I came to India. I knew what's going to work and what's not.
Hmm.
See, here, even if you do wrong, you can get away with it. So what systems do we have to have in place to not be a part of those structures?
Yeah.
You made those structures significant. What if you did not have to? And that does not make you a bad or an immoral lady if you're choosing for yourself.
Yeah.
Ritu, if you and I are very close friends and मुझे location A पे जाना है और तुम्हें location B पे जाना है, and you say that no, either of us will give up on our location so that we can go together, and I'm like, no, you continue with your location and I continue with mine. Me choosing for me is not a wrongness, and I'm not choosing against you. You'll still be my friend, but you choosing for you is not a wrongness either. You choose for you. We'll meet at a common after we are done at location. That is what we're talking about.
But Kavita, that understanding is not there. And I know that there was a point in life when I was functioning from that point of view, but we should go together. And if she didn't, so, clearly she doesn't understand. And, when I'm doing so much, why couldn't she have like sort of given up to come with me? And it is so stupid. Of course, I understand that now.
No,
But
that's
it also,
and everywhere you are so addicted to judging yourself and your past कि मैंने ये किया था, अरे वो हो गया. Okay, I chose whatever I felt light at that moment, or even if I chose something that felt heavy, can I not make myself wrong now?
Yeah.
That is what we are saying. And that is a change we're talking about. That is a system we're talking about. What separate systems can you choose now rather than having a story of suffering?
Yeah.
You didn't have to suffer now because the fact that you're carrying your past in your current reality, which means past is not over.
Yeah.
You're not in the present. And if you're not in the present, what kind of a future are you creating?
Yeah.
So why do we have to go back to go forward? Can we not straight away go forward? And so it's about allowing yourself to flip something, and flip is something that you can do in a second. It's like, पलक झपकने जैसा आसान हो सकता है, लेकिन हमने चेंज क्योंकि डिफिकल्ट डिफाइन किया हुआ है difficult होता है, it's not easy, okay? Growing up is not easy. But trust me, after growing up, I don't want to become a baby because I know I am still carrying the child in me. I wouldn't want to come back from the same, the womb and then come like a baby. And no, I'm just so happy where I am today. So could you allow yourself to be grateful for where you are today? So all that struggling thing, all that suffering thing, all that proving that you're such a moral person, that's why you're struggling and suffering. Can you give that up today? At the count of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's it for today. Thank you, Navneeta, for this suggestion. And I will,
My pleasure.
yeah. So we'll incorporate another topic next time on next Monday. But yes, we're going to talk more about maybe manifestation. I don't know. So someone had suggested, why don't you talk about manifestation or something?
Yeah, something on actualization, manifestation would be amazing.
Yes. So, or anything that is more relevant in your world regarding relationships and money or whatever. Just let me know what works for you guys.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kavita.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.